Ever catch yourself wondering how your next doctor's visit might be different? Faster results, maybe smarter treatments, care that feels like it's designed just for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what we're diving into today. The really exciting world of artificial intelligence in healthcare.
It's a huge topic right now.
Absolutely. We've got this detailed research document here,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically maps out how AI is being used across the globe. Everything from, figuring out what's wrong, diagnostics,
Right, the diagnosis part.
to creating personalized treatment plans, keeping a constant watch on our health, and even tackling that often invisible but critical administrative side of things.
Yeah, the back office stuff.
And this isn't science fiction, right? It's happening now.
Yeah.
There's significant investment pouring in.
Absolutely. Our source material really underlines the scale here. The global AI healthcare market, it was already around, US $26.6 billion in 2024.
Wow.
And it's projected to grow at this, frankly, astonishing rate, nearly 39% annually through 2030.
That kind of growth, that signals a fundamental change, doesn't it?
It really does. It changes how healthcare operates at its core.
And it's not just about the money flowing in, right? It's about what that investment actually delivers. This research we're looking at, it suggests that for every dollar put into AI in healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
there's roughly a $3.20 return in benefits.
That's a significant multiplier.
It really is. And what's also striking is just how widespread adoption already is. Something like 79% of healthcare organizations are already using AI in some way.
Yeah, and that high adoption is being driven by some really powerful forces. Just consider the sheer explosion of health data.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking estimated 175 zettabytes by next year. It's just mind-boggling, way more than humans alone can effectively analyze.
No kidding. Impossible.
And then you have the very real and growing shortage of skilled clinicians. Globally, they're projecting a deficit of around 10 million by 2030.
10 million, that's huge.
It is. And of course, there's always the push for better patient outcomes and controlling costs. AI seems to offer some compelling answers to these really pressing challenges.
It certainly sounds like it. And our sources say North America is currently the leader, right? Over 50% market share in 2024.
That's right. But it's interesting, you see really fast growth in Asia Pacific and other regions too. They're catching up quickly.
Okay, so let's really dig into how this plays out in practice. Maybe start with diagnostics, how AI is changing how we figure out what's wrong.
Yeah. Diagnostics is a great place to start. It's one area where AI is already having a really tangible impact, especially with medical images and pathology.
Okay.
The core tech here is often deep learning. Think of it like teaching a computer to recognize patterns in just massive amounts of data.
Like images, in this case.
Exactly. You show these
Yeah.
algorithms countless X-rays, CT scans, MRI scans, pathology slides, and they learn to spot even really subtle signs of disease with remarkable precision, actually.
So it's like a super trained detective for medical images. The numbers you see are pretty impressive, too. Over 700 AI-based medical tools cleared in the U.S. as of 2023.
Right. And the majority, about 76%, are in radiology.
That really shows the confidence, doesn't it? In
Mhm.
AI assisting with reading scans, it's kind of like having this incredibly diligent second set of eyes on every single image.
Precisely. AI can pick up on those really subtle cues, maybe a tiny irregularity suggesting a tumor or a hairline fracture.
Things easily missed.
Exactly. Especially when radiologists are under pressure, high workload. Our source mentions an interesting example, an anatomy-aware graph convolutional network.
Okay, bit of a mouthful.
Yeah. But it significantly improved breast cancer detection on mammograms. That's the kind of enhanced precision we're seeing.
It's not just the big scans, right? It's also getting down to the cellular level in pathology.
That's right. Computerized analysis of these whole slide digital images in pathology. It's getting to the point where it often matches or sometimes even surpasses human expert accuracy. And crucially, it can do this while reducing the workload for pathologists. That often means faster diagnoses for critical conditions like cancer. The research shows performance comparable to specialists.
So faster, potentially more accurate diagnoses, huge benefit. And it sounds like AI is also making diagnostics possible in more places, maybe earlier stages, not just big hospitals.
Exactly. Think about screening, point-of-care diagnostics. There's this project, Aspire. It uses machine learning on routine CT scans to pick up vertebral fractures from osteoporosis.
Which are often missed.
Very often missed. Something like over 95% missed in routine reporting. So AI finding these earlier. Big impact on outcomes.
95%.
Wow.
And you mentioned portable tools, too.
Yes, AI is being built into portable ultrasound devices like
Oh.
intelligent ultrasound scan of. These tools can actually guide less experienced users during the scan.
So making ultrasound more accessible.
Right. Highlighting anatomy in real time. And even smartphones are becoming diagnostic tools. AI algorithms analyzing skin lesion images or eye images for early disease signs.
Almost like a preliminary checkup right in your pocket. So the overall picture in diagnostics, it seems to be this mix of better accuracy, speed, and maybe wider access.
Absolutely. AI acts as that tireless second opinion. It helps catch things earlier, expands screening reach, especially in underserved areas. AI reading chest x-rays for TB or pneumonia, teleradiology platforms like Zebra Medical or Queer.ai serving emerging markets.
Right.
So the market for AI-enabled diagnostics within that huge global diagnostics market, maybe $203 billion, it's growing fast. AI imaging tools alone were projected over $1.3 billion by the mid-2020s and still climbing steeply, around 33% CAGR.
Okay, so AI is helping figure out what's wrong. Let's shift now to what happens next, the actual treatment. How's AI influencing that?
Right, treatment planning. This gets us into personalized medicine, which is really exciting. The core idea is AI analyzing this huge mix of individual patient data.
Like what kind of data?
Oh, genetics, their full health history, even real-time data from wearables, and using all that to recommend therapies tailored specifically to them.
So moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach towards something much more precise.
Exactly. More precise and likely more effective. For instance, machine learning algorithms can now predict how individual cancer patients might respond to different drugs.
Based on their genes and clinical profile.
Correct. So you avoid trial and error prescribing. That saves time, saves money, reduces side effects. It's treatment based on a much deeper understanding of that specific person.
And the market for these tailored therapies, that's expected to grow quite a bit, isn't it?
Oh, massively. Projections suggest it could jump from around $1.2 billion in 2022 to maybe $17 billion by 2032.
Wow, huge growth.
Exponential. It really shows the expected impact. And in oncology specifically, you've got major collaborations like the Cancer AI Alliance and big investments, $40 million plus, focused on using AI to figure out treatment resistance.
That's critical. Overcoming resistance is a major hurdle in cancer care. What about other areas like radiation or surgery?
AI is making big strides there too. In radiation oncology, algorithms are automating treatment planning, analyzing tumor images, patient anatomy.
To optimize the dose.
Exactly. Optimize the radiation dose, the schedule. It can dramatically cut down planning time. Vendors like Varian, Elekta, they're big in this space.
Okay.
And in surgery, AI combined with advanced imaging helps surgeons map out complex procedures. Even surgical robots are starting to learn from past outcomes to improve precision.
Robots learning. That's fascinating. And I imagine it's useful for managing long-term conditions too. Chronic diseases.
Absolutely. For things like diabetes or asthma, AI helps fine-tune treatments over time. Think adaptive insulin dosing for diabetes based on real-time glucose levels, or optimizing inhaler doses for asthma based on patterns.
So the big theme in treatment seems to be, well, better decision-making, more efficiency, finding new ways to target disease and creating these really customized care plans.
That's the core of it. And we're already seeing good evidence for AI's accuracy here. Our source mentions IBM Watson for oncology. Its breast cancer treatment suggestions matched human expert recommendations about 93% of the time.
93%. That's high concordance.
It really is. It shows the potential for AI to provide valuable support to doctors making these complex calls. And the long-term impact avoiding ineffective therapies, improving outcomes that's potentially billions in value.
Okay, let's move on to another really key area. Patient monitoring. And this feels like it could really change things, both in hospitals and just everyday life at home.
It really could. With all the continuous monitoring devices, wearables, we're generating this unprecedented stream of real-time data, heart rate, blood pressure, glucose, oxygen, EEG.
Right, all sorts of vitals.
And AI algorithms can analyze that continuous stream, detect subtle changes, deviations from normal, and give early warnings.
Like a proactive health guardian, almost constantly watching.
Kind of, yeah. For example, advanced wearables are using AI to predict things like cardiac events or even sleep disorders, sometimes before the person feels any symptoms.
Really? Before symptoms?
Yeah, the research mentions one study. They developed this AI model, a deep CNN LSTM, that could forecast sleep apnea from just a single lead ECG with about 95% accuracy.
Wow, 95% from an ECG. That's impressive. Early detection like that could be life-changing.
It really could. And you also see AI analyzing ECG data from smartwatches or patches to flag arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation.
That's becoming more common. And it's not just spotting sudden events, right? It's also helping manage chronic conditions remotely.
Absolutely. Remote patient monitoring, RPM, platforms are increasingly using AI, helping people manage diabetes, say from home. AI can analyze glucose readings, warn about potential hypoglycemia,
Okay.
or combine blood pressure and activity data to predict when someone with heart failure might be at risk of an exacerbation. Catching these things early can really reduce hospital readmissions.
Which is better for the patient, obviously, but also saves the healthcare system a lot of money. And does it help patients get more involved in their own care?
Definitely. Smart apps with AI can give personalized feedback, reminders, time for your meds, or maybe adjust your activity level today based on your readings. It empowers people.
Right.
And inside hospitals, too, AI is really useful. Virtual assistants, chatbots, they handle routine stuff. Triaging symptoms, medication reminders, answering basic questions, frees up nurses for more critical tasks.
Makes sense.
And in ICUs, AI tools are constantly analyzing monitored data, looking for early signs of sepsis or respiratory failure, often much faster than humans can spot them.
So improving individual care, but also making hospitals run more smoothly
Mhm.
and potentially reaching more people too, especially remotely.
Precisely. AI-enabled monitoring is boosting telehealth. Think AI triage bots, remote consults, making basic care more accessible, especially in underserved areas globally.
So the benefits are pretty clear. Proactive care, more convenience, potentially big savings from fewer avoidable admissions.
Right, and the market reflects that. IDC forecasts heavy growth in AI-enabled RPM, more devices are getting AI built in, and reimbursement models like Medicare covering remote monitoring with AI analytics are starting to adapt.
So we've covered diagnostics, treatment, monitoring, all very clinical.
Yeah.
But healthcare is this massive industry, right?
Yeah.
What about all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the administration? How's AI helping there?
Yeah, that's an area where the impact might be less visible to patients day to day, but the potential for efficiency gains and cost savings is just huge. The main goal is automating those repetitive, time-consuming back-office tasks.
The ones prone to errors sometimes.
Exactly. Things like appointment scheduling, managing patient flow in a clinic. Machine learning can now predict patient no-shows, for instance.
Really? How did that help?
Well, if you can predict no-shows with decent accuracy, you can optimize schedules, maybe overbook slightly, send targeted reminders, reduce wasted slots. One hospital study used AI for MRI appointments, cut the no-show rate from over 19% down to about 16%.
That adds up.
It does. And AI can also help optimize schedules to reduce waiting times, minimize staff overtime. Reports suggest savings of 15–40% in related costs.
Okay, that makes sense. What about all the paperwork? Billing, coding, claims? That seems like a prime candidate for automation.
Absolutely. That's where tools using RPA, robotic process automation, and NLP, natural language processing, come in. They're processing billing, getting prior authorizations, handling insurance claims.
NLP, that's understanding language, right?
Right. It can extract key data from forms, doctor's notes, stand records, dramatically cutting down manual data entry. And you've got AI chatbots or voice assistants handling routine patient questions, helping fill out forms.
So saving time for staff, but also improving accuracy in things like billing and coding.
Exactly. AI can monitor electronic health record data for anomalies, potential security breaches, helping with HIPAA or GDPR compliance. It can flag potential coding errors, suggest corrections, which cleans up the whole billing cycle.
And the financial impact, is it significant?
Potentially huge. Some analysts estimate widespread AI admin adoption could save 5–10% off national healthcare spending. One study found a payback period under 14 months and a 3.2 times ROI.
Wow. Strong numbers.
Yeah.